Across the world, gods rose from fire, storm, and shadow. They ruled the skies, the seas, and the underworld. They loved, they betrayed, they destroyed. These are the epic tales of gods who shaped the world. 1. Loki, a Norse god from Scandinavia. Loki was a trickster who could change into a man, woman, or beast. But his mischief turned deadly when he caused the death of Balder, a beloved god of light. He tricked Balder's brother, Hode, into throwing a mistletoe dart at him after discovering that mistletoe was the only thing that could harm Balder. Because of this, the other gods captured him and bound him in chains. Loki vowed revenge at Ragnarok, that is, the end of the world. He said he would release monsters and giants to fight against the gods. That's why Loki is blamed for Balder's death. It was his trick that turned a harmless game into tragedy. 2. Ra, an Egyptian supreme sun god. Ra was believed to rule over creation, life, and order. Each morning, he rose in the east, sailing his golden boat across the sky, bringing light to gods and humans alike. But when the sun set, Ra's journey wasn't peaceful. Every night, he traveled through the underworld, the Duat, where he faced his greatest enemy, Apophis, the giant serpent of chaos. Apophis tried to swallow Ra's boat and plunge the world into eternal night. Ra wasn't alone. Other gods, like Set and protective spirits, fought beside him. With their help, Ra defeated Apophis again and again. If Ra ever lost, the sun would never rise again. His story shows that light and order survive only because Ra never stops battling the darkness of chaos. 3. Kali, a Hindu goddess from India. Kali was born out of pure fury and divine wrath. She appeared during a battle between the gods and demons when their armies were being overwhelmed. She slaughtered demons, drinking their blood so they could not rise again, and soon the battlefield ran red like a river. But her fury grew uncontrollable. She kept killing and destroying, blinded by rage. She nearly destroyed the world. To stop her, Lord Shiva lay down in her path. When Kali stepped on him, she suddenly realized what she was doing. Shocked and humbled, she calmed her rage, and the world was spared. Kali's story shows how destruction can protect against evil, but unchecked rage can also endanger creation itself. 4. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King of China. Sun Wukong was born from a magical stone on a mountain. Gifted with incredible strength, speed, and wit, he mastered martial arts and learned powerful magic. His ambition drove him further. He stole peaches of immortality, sacred wine, and sacred scriptures, making him impossible to kill. When the Jade Emperor tried to control him, Sun Wukong fought heaven's armies, defeating gods and generals with ease. Not even celestial weapons could harm him, and he even defied the Buddha. To humble him, the Buddha trapped Sun Wukong beneath a mountain, where he remained in prison for centuries. Later, he was released to aid the monk Xuanzang on a sacred journey to India, where he eventually found wisdom and redemption. His tale is about power, rebellion, and the long road from arrogance to enlightenment. 5. Anansi, an Akon god from Ghana. Anansi was a spider trickster who wanted to own all the world's stories. The sky god, Nanme, darted them. Nanme told Anansi he could only have the stories if he completed an impossible task, capturing dangerous creatures, the great python, the mighty leopard, the swarm of hornets, and the elusive fairy. Using clever tricks, Anansi succeeded. He convinced the python to measure itself against the stick, trapped the leopard in a hole, tricked the hornets with a fake rainstorm, and lured the fairy with sticky gum. When he brought them all to Nanme, the sky god was astonished. He rewarded Anansi by giving him the gift of stories. From that day forward, every tale told by people carried the mark of Anansi, the master of stories. That's why in West African tradition, folk tales are often called Anansi stories. 6. Odin, a Norse god from Scandinavia. Odin was obsessed with wisdom and hidden knowledge. He bartered his one eye to drink from Mimir's well, which housed the water of wisdom. He swapped commodity sight for deeper vision. But that wasn't enough. Seeking the mysteries of magic and the runes, Odin performed the greatest sacrifice of all, himself. He hung for 9 days and 9 nights on Yggdrasil, the world tree, pierced by his own spear without food or drink. Through this suffering, Odin gained the secrets of the runes and magic, knowledge that gave him power over fate, sorcery, and the spoken word. His story shows that true wisdom comes only through sacrifice and pain. 7. Quetzalcoatl, an Aztec god from Mexico. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, was a bringer of wisdom, culture, and order. He taught people how to farm, write, and live with justice. But his brother, Tezcatlipoca, the god of night and sorcery, envied him. Through trickery, Tezcatlipoca made Quetzalcoatl drunk and shamed him before his people. Overcome with guilt, Quetzalcoatl built a great funeral pyre, set himself on fire, and as the flames rose, his heart became the morning star, Venus. In other tellings, he sailed away across the eastern sea. Before leaving, he promised he would return, a prophecy that later shaped Aztec history. His story is about betrayal, shame, and the hope of return. 8. Osiris, an Egyptian god. Osiris was a beloved god-king, ruling with justice and order. His brother, Set, grew jealous and plotted to take his throne. Set tricked Osiris into lying inside a decorated chest, sealed it, and threw it into the Nile. Later, he cut Osiris's body into many pieces and scattered them across the land. Osiris's wife Isis searched tirelessly for the fragments. With her magic and devotion, she reassembled his body and breathed life into him long enough to conceive their son, Horus. Osiris could not return to rule the living, but he was reborn as lord of the underworld, judging souls in the afterlife. His story is about betrayal, love, death, and resurrection. 9. Amaterasu, a Japanese sun goddess. Amaterasu ruled the heavens and brought light to the world. One day, she had a fierce quarrel with her brother, Susanoo, who destroyed her rice fields and threw a flayed horse into her palace. Anguished, she hid in a cave, pulling the sun behind her. With Amaterasu gone, the world plunged into darkness, crops failed, and chaos spread. The other gods devised a plan. They held a festival outside the cave, dancing, singing, and laughing. One goddess, Ame Nuizume, performed a comical dance, making the gods laugh heartily. Curious, Amaterasu peeked out. The gods held up a mirror showing her radiant reflection. Amazed, she stepped out and light returned, restoring order. The story explains the cycle of day and night and shows how curiosity, joy, and cleverness can overcome darkness. 10. Poseidon, a Greek god. Poseidon ruled the oceans with immense power, summoning storms, earthquakes, and floods at will. During Odysseus's travels home, Odysseus blinded Poseidon's son, the Cyclops Polyphemus, to escape his cave. Enraged, Poseidon cursed Odysseus, vowing his journey home would be fraught with peril. For 10 years, Poseidon sent storms, shipwrecks, and sea monsters to hinder him. Though Odysseus survived, Poseidon's wrath made the voyage slow and dangerous. The story is about divine vengeance, the dangers of the sea, and the cost of offending a god.
These gods were not just myths. They were kings, warriors, destroyers, and saviors. They shaped the world with fire, wisdom, and blood. And their legends live on, because the stories of the gods never die.